GM.
What's up, everybody?
Oh man, it is
How we living?
Monday.
I mean, you're right. It is Monday.
It is Monday. Does it feel like a Monday to you?
You know, we're not too often right about a lot, but you are correct, sir. It is Monday.
Yeah, that's the alpha of the day. You heard it here first.
You know, we're just trying to bring the vibes. You know, who cares about alpha? We're just bringing the vibes.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of still in that weird market. I know things have been a little weird the last 1 or 2 weeks, but in a different way. But it's still weird overall. So we're just chilling, trying to figure out our way through this.
Yeah, like you said, it has been weird, and most Mondays, I don't know, I just feel down and drugging at, like, I don't know, it's just like those usual Monday feels, but this Monday, I don't know, I kind of feel like, I feel some good vibes this Monday. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just that we're one step closer to New York, hanging out with all the boys and everyone we know. So one step closer to New York. We got like 10 days before a lot of us start flying out and start our travels. 10 to 12 days or so. It's coming up close, man. It is coming up close.
Yes, sir. 10 days. You know, I'm excited to see all the guys and girls, man. It's just it's gonna be a vibe. I wasn't there at NYC last year, so I've been looking forward to this for almost a year now. So, or basically a year. So, I think it's gonna be cool. I am a little bit let down, and we'll probably just briefly touch on it later. But I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Like, I feel let down by Ape Fest a little bit. Like, you know, I have a board ape. Like,
spoilers.
How much more money do I have to pay, you know, to be able to get in? But it's whatever. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it later. We're gonna get tickets to all 4 days. I got no worries about that. But hey, we're still vibing. Are you staying at the same hotel that everyone else is?
I'm staying underneath the bridge on 14th. You know, 14th and Main.
A little cardboard box set up there for you.
Yeah, I am bringing a cardboard box. Is actually going to be the merch box that I got my,
I was about to say
board ape stuff in. So
yeah, it was really like special of Yuga to send out homes to everybody that were like during this bear market. Like, hey, I know things are rough. Here's a place for you to stay whenever it's raining. Here's some shelter for you. So it's real. I mean, that's talk about real utility right there, providing us some shelter from the rain and the elements.
Utility.
All right, well, let's hop into the market update. Let's see what's going on. So the last 24 hours, let's look at the top gainers. And we got not a lot going on as usual, but we've got some notable projects. Like, I mean, not too notable, but like we got the doggies. You know, Snoop Dogg's project is up there. It's up like 46% to 0.23. I'm not sure if they had an announcement or if there's you know, Snoop is relevant again in the news now since he's announced that he's opening a Bored Ape themed restaurant, which we're going to talk about later. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it or if it's just coincidence. We've got, you know, I don't know. What else do you see over on this chart?
Well, let's just reply to Pitch real quick. But yeah, I mean, the doggies thing, I do think it may be related to some speculation in terms of maybe like an allow list. Yeah. If that big themed restaurant does end up having like some type of NFT theme pass to it, or if there's just a first party announcement that I missed. But it has to be speculation pump because there's no way that those things just pump on their own.
Yeah.
You know, no shade to Snoop Dogg, but I'm a better artist. Anyways, let's see what else.
We got Accutars. You know, they're down there. They're up 15%. They're still slowly climbing because they're still ahead of that airdrop that's coming out soon. So they're flirting with that 1 ETH floor again. We'll see if they can actually cross it soon.
Shout out Goblin Girls. You know, holding it down over there. Yo, Floof World. You know, little bunny project 2.9 still somehow. I mean, just tell us a brief overview on on your journey with Floof World or Fluff World.
My journey with them, I minted 10 and I sold them all between like 0.5 and 3 ETH, and I never looked at them again. That's been my journey.
Wasn't that like beginning of fall last year or something like that though?
Yeah, that was the weekend before I decided, like, you know what, I could quit my job. Like that, like the money that I made from Fluff World, like, kind of helped like me make my decision of you know what, I'm gonna quit my job because I'm making money over here. So shout out to Floof World. You know, always grateful for them. But yeah, my journey with them ended about 2 or 3 weeks into them releasing, and I haven't really been a part of them since. I just never really, vibed with the 3D furry rabbit bobbing its head. I like that it had some music dynamics to it. It was different. It was different than what we've seen at the time, so I really liked that. But it was just nothing I personally really vibed with. But I know the Flute, they got such a one of those I guess underrated communities. You never hear about them, but their floor and they always have sales. Their floor is always pretty steady. It's not as volatile as we see these other projects. So shout out to them. They're hanging around.
I mean, they are completely under the radar while still just chugging along, man. I mean, to be above 2 ETH in this type of market and for as long as they have been, they're doing something right over there. And shout out Von Schiller for the sub 4 months in a row. Sheesh. Can we get some GGs or something in the chat for Von Schiller? Thank you, man.
Appreciate that, Schiller. We've got Wrecked Guy. Only thing I don't own any of these, but we talked about them a little bit on Friday because of the Wrecked Guy confessions. But I guess they're up over the last 24 hours. But I think overall they're down because they were at a 0.8, 0.9 floor, so they're down from that. But they're back up from their big drop off. But let's go ahead and look at the flip side of this. Let's see what projects are down bad in the last 24 hours. And we got Ether Orcs, their volume, they're at 0.8.
Zug.
Yeah, it was Zug, exclamation point Zug in the chat. What any of these projects that are down over the last day, does anything stick out to you, or is it just kind of a lot of Degen mints that are down because that's just what happens?
Dude, a lot of these are low cap, so obviously Ether Orcs definitely sticks out. The other thing is the Quantum Key, but I think is that a different thing? Because it says key ring, and I know about the Quantum Key, the one for the photographs and IRL LA stuff, but is that a completely different thing, or is the name just scuffed on this website?
I have no idea. I can let's look into it. I've never heard of Quantum Key ring. Scam. Just subscribe to NFA. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Much love.
Let's see. Totally says it is. I don't know if that means it is
separate.
It is separate, or it is the same, or it is scuffed. Created on March 9th. Is that whenever Quantum Keys came out?
Yeah.
Yeah, we go to the OpenSea link right here.
Okay, yeah. So it looks like the same thing then.
Okay.
Scam 3.
Perfect.
Anyways, so Quantum Key, I know that they had some type of drop or allow list thing, raffle thing recently, that was popping off a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think whatever there might have been a snapshot, or it was already airdropped or done, so that might be why we see a little drop in price. But to be honest, there's probably 6 or 7 listed below right before they just hop back up to 5 again. So
yeah. I do think it's ironic that on this list we do see Dented Fuels and Weather Report just right next to each other still. And they just can't get away from each other. They just they're always going up and down with each other. Even though it looks like Dented Fuels looks like the market ends up choosing them, but I don't know if you can really count a 0.08 floor as a win for them, considering how hyped Weather Report and this whole thing was, how much drama was behind it. But it's kind of funny seeing those side by side.
So short story time on My Pet Hooligan down there, number 21, sitting at an ETH, which again surprising still, just sitting above an ETH. Me and Harry Swan, shout out big influence, Harry Swan. All right, so we're chilling one night, we're degenning. My Pet Hooligans come out, and I noticed a lot of volume, buys. And I go to, it wasn't Gem at the time, what's the other floor sweeper? No, that's not Gem.
Genie?
Yeah, Genie. So I go to Genie. I'm like, you know what? Let's degen tonight. I'm a scoop some of these. So I go to Genie. I load up, and I'm getting 8 at a time or something like that, 7. And I send it, and it says transaction failed. Right? Not on my wallet, but on the website. So I'm like, dang. All right, I missed out on that. And I said, you know what? I'm just not gonna do it. maybe that was a sign I wasn't supposed to make the Degen move. And then about 2 minutes after that, you know, I convinced myself, maybe Harry does as well, and I send it again for another 7 or 8. Then I go to my wallet to see which ones that I have, and I noticed that the first transaction actually did go through. The website lied to me. And that's actually common with Genie during that time, is that it would tell you that it failed, but it actually went through. That was my first time like going through it. So I ended up with like 15 or 16 what is it called?
My Pet Hooligans.
My Pet Hooligans, yeah, MPH.
Yeah, this guy's a whale for My Pet Hooligans. You're so bullish on them. Jeez.
My Pet Hooligans, I bought them for like 0.15 or 0.18 or something like that. And then they go like through the roof, bro. That same night, within hours, within 2 to 3 hours, they go from that all the way to like 0.8 or an ETH. And you know, I looked into it. I'm like, hey, I think I want to keep this. I think I want to be involved in this project. But I'm gonna take some profits here because I know after reveal, what happens after a project reveals, right?
Oh, dump.
Floor
dump
dumps.
it. I didn't get a rare. I'm listening at the floor. Floor's dropping. I'm gonna undercut it. Oh, someone else undercut. Let's undercut some more. That's what happens.
Yeah, so that's what happens every time. So the floor is gonna dump. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna buy back in because I'm securing profits here. Made a good buck. And I list, and the next day I come back and I because I'm vibing in the Discord, like I'm pumping the project right in their Discord, and everybody's chilling. They're like, oh shoot, Bored Apes are here, blah blah blah. So I go back the next morning to check it out, and I realize I'm not in the server anymore. I was like, damn, I must have accidentally left. So I tried joining the server again. It says that I'm banned. I'm banned from the server, and they ended up banning me from the project, from the server, because I listed below, you know, an ETH or 1.1 or something like that. And so they kicked me and I was out.
How dare you? That is disgusting that you would bring down a project like that. And I mean, I'm going to say, I think you deservedly got banned. I do not want anybody that lists a project in my Discord. You if you buy it, you're holding it forever. You're not allowed to list it. You can't secure profits.
Well, okay, so that is most of the story, but then
here we go.
I was like, well, screw this project, right? Like, I already made a lot of money off it, whatever. Like, I'm done, I'm through. They reveal, like, in 2 or 3 days after that. Guess what happens on reveal? They go up. Now, I didn't even go back and look at, like, if I had any rares. The floor goes up. It was like less than a handful of projects where after the reveal, it's pumped to the moon. I'm talking about, like, it went from, like, 0.9 to an ETH to, like, 1.8 or something like that. So they kind of had the last laugh there. I mean, it's all good, whatever. I made my money, but I'm just, that's one of those projects I'll always remember because that was the first time I ever got banned from an NFT Discord server. And
I literally only said one thing.
And Harry, I don't know, like Harry was like, yo, that's a fat dub. And then it ended up like he was laughing at me because it wasn't a fat dub. Like it could have been a fatter dub, but whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, it sounds like you were going pretty Degen there, and kind of speaking of that, I mean, let's just look at this real quick. So this is kind of the top collections on OpenSea here in the recent by volume in the last 24 hours, and it shows the last 7 days as well. Luckily, Bored Ape kind of reclaimed the throne because they were knocked down like outside the top 10 before they had a few sales come in. You know, all it takes for the apes is basically 1 or 2 sales, and they're back on top. But I mean, just looking at this list, it's Degen season, right?
Yeah, it is, because I mean, all of these projects.
Oh my god, it's full on Degen season.
Most of them will be irrelevant within about a month or so.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I know everybody in the Schiller Discord. It feels like we're in last summer. Like everyone's minting everything. These free mints, these cheap mints. But I mean, I don't know. Are you partaking in any of this? Or are you just watching from the sideline, just thinking like, oh man, when's it gonna end? When's it gonna end?
Right.
And that's, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's already ended. We've already seen it. It's basically, I mean, the pattern we've seen now from these mints is, hey, it's a hyped up mint or hyped up. It sells out. Floor jumps to 0.2, 0.25, 0.3, and then 2 hours later, floor jumps back down to like 0.05, 0.02, and then the project's dead. And then you move on to the next one. And it kind of feels like we see that pattern now, and it's just the same people flipping to each other. But are you partaking in this, and what's your thoughts on it?
Where's Leave Me Alone at on here?
Let's not talk about those. Just leave me alone and just answer my question.
No, I'm just living through the degens in the chat, man. I haven't participated in any of these, like 0 of these. I mean, I was kind of on goblins. I just didn't mint any, but I was there in the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just been living through like Pitch, Harry, Hunter, Ayubal. Like a lot of those, 24/7 degens, and it's been fun. It's been fun to watch the plays, and it's just nothing has seriously like made me want to push mint or even unlock my wallet for that matter.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I think I minted one. Yeah, I minted one yesterday. It was the Tower of the Occult ones, and I used an alt wallet because I'm just like these free claims that are just pop out of nowhere. Twitter was made in like the last couple days. It's just so sketchy, and I don't know. I don't want to connect my main wallet to it, but I mean, hey, here's we all. I mean, that's the time we are in right now. It's just you, like Q-Dog said earlier, you put town.w2f at the end of anything, and it's gonna sell out right now. It's the pumps. I mean, and Pitch said earlier, pumps are getting shorter. So yeah, and we're starting to see that. Like yesterday with the Tower of the Occult, I think most everybody in the Discord minted them, and there was basically one per wallet. And we saw those pump to 0.2, 0.3, like within the first hour or two. And then I went grocery shopping, and then I came back home. I was like, all right, let me look into the prices. Let me list mine, and the price is down to like 0.03. I'm like, okay, never mind. I guess I'm holding this till the dirt then. At least it was a free claim, so it just cost me gas. But yeah, I mean, it just feels like we're in degen season, but also feels like it's kind of like the same people flipping to each other. And when we know how that ends, it's coming to an end. But do you think that this degen season, this Freeman's, like this little hype thing, do you think this is going to lead us into a bull run for blue chip NFTs and actual like top projects? Because I see a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people on Discord say, hey, degen this degen season is usually an indicator to the beginning of a bull run. Do you agree with that, or do you think that's just a little bit of a hopium?
I think we're probably still kind of in that youthful like area where these degen runs can lead into some pumping, right? Like in terms of a nice little 1-2 month season of things running pretty hot, but they never last. So the real things and that are still being built, right? Like the architecture, application, software, platforms, whatever you want to call them. Like those are the real things that are going to make things last a lot longer. And when you see things last a lot longer in terms of people staying, what's the word? I don't know, like just continuing to participate in them, that's when you see those real pumps, right? Because they're active in the ecosystem versus, we're in an NFT project and they say they're releasing a game or something like that. They release it and then nobody cares about it and the project is dead, right? Or an airdrop for that matter, right? They do that. They hype the airdrop comes, and then everything dies. So you got to have like this sustainability, and the way that you get that sustainability is by user retention and then innovation.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious to see where this ends up at. I think it's good. I think it's interesting timing that this is leading up, like right before NFT NYC, whenever everyone's going to be getting together. And I think we do see a lot of these, people that are profiting from this season of like these few weeks. I think we see a lot of these profits flow into some of the blue chip projects. Because there's a lot of people out there that their goal is to, hey, my goal is to flip up to a Clonex or flip up to a Mutant Ape or flip up to a Bored Ape, right? Like everyone has this ideal project they want to flip into, and a lot of these mints and this kind of like degen season we're in right now can help people get to that goal. So I think we see a lot of that happen. I just don't know how much, or if it's enough to kind of move the needle and send us into a full-on bull run. I think we kind of need we need some more. We need a bigger catalyst than that, because especially considering just the financial markets, just in general, even outside of crypto and NFTs. Just I guess you look at crypto as a whole, but also just the tech stocks and just everything. Like the markets all across the world right now are down. So I think we're still in it for quite a bit, but we'll see. But let's go ahead.
Just by the way, a little quick thing is NFL announced or released their like blockchain based game. It's called NFL Rivals, and it's gonna launch in 2023. But up to the launch, there will be like theme drops regarding or surrounding like the 32 franchises. So don't have much information about that, but it did come out.
So, is that just live breaking news that you shared?
Somewhat. I think they might have sent like a press wire maybe this morning or something like that. But it's not.
I missed that. That's good. I'll have to look into that later.
Yep. So just want to shout that out.
Cool. Well, let's move on to some more project news, and we had an airdrop happen over basically heading into the weekend, and I think you're a holder, I'm a holder. I think several other people in the chat have the Adidas. At this point, you have a Phase 2 NFT, and they had airdropped these like capsules to all Phase 2 holders. There's one per NFT, and yeah. It's good. I mean, it feels like they're kind of trying to go like it seems like they're trying to compete with Nike at this point, right? Like with Artifact, and they're going the whole capsule theme. And I don't know. It's just it was good to see an airdrop come through. And if we look at it on OpenSea, the floor price is steady around 0.43, and that's at that's at 24,000 items too. So that's pretty nice floor considering how many items there are, and considering everybody got them for free. Do you have any thoughts on these? Any speculation on what this could be?
Not really, because first of all, I don't even know who the guy is. Like Indigo Hertz? Yeah, not really sure about him. Don't know too much.
Indigo is the name of their ape.
Oh, that's the blue ape, right?
Yeah, the blue ape. That's what they've named their ape is Indigo.
Yeah, I was like, because I don't really follow that one too much. I've actually thought about in the past like selling all the Adidas stuff.
You don't know who Tamale and Enchilada is? No. You don't know who Indigo Hertz is?
Nah, for me it's checks over stripes over here. So, I'm kind of fading Adidas. But,
okay, yeah.
But no,
you are the resident Artifact maxi, so yeah, that checks out.
Now, you'd have to just say like it's a merch item that's tied to the ape somehow within that world of they have a name for the world in their avatars that they're creating, but you would just think it's a digital item, right? Where it's digital in their metaverse and then physical that we can claim.
Yeah, I have no idea what to speculate on what this is. I just, as a holder, hey, I'm happy for it. I'm not mad at it, right? And this was like a legit airdrop. People say airdrop all the time. This was like an actual, like they paid the gas, they dropped it into your wallet. You don't have to go claim it, right? So
Artifact did it first.
Sure. Yeah. Actually, Mutant Serums did it first.
Yeah, they did.
All right. Any final thoughts about the Adidas capsule, this airdrop?
Just that it feels bad because it was an unannounced one, right? Like it was a stealth one. So it's always going to feel bad for, and there's many ways to do it. I don't think that there's any one right way to do it. But the thing is, like, what if you bought the day or like the hour after the snapshot, right? In terms of the Phase 2 Adidas into the metaverse NFTs. And now you just missed out on, 0.43. So that's always going to suck. Do you have a preference on the ways that projects do it? Like they let you know weeks ahead of time when they're going to take a snapshot, stealth snapshot?
If it's, I guess I have two feelings about it, and I think I've said it before. If it's a project that I'm like, I don't plan on selling, then I'm all for the stealth snapshots. But if it's a project I'm looking to kind of get out of, hey, I want them to hype up that airdrop. I want you to, pump my bags up. Let's get a run up before the airdrop. Let me sell into that pump, and I'm getting out. But if it's a project I believe in, something I'm holding on to, I don't want to sell that. I'd rather them go this way, just kind of the stealth way.
Yeah, for me, like I'm okay either way technically, but I feel that most people. For an airdrop, I think it's okay being stealth, but then for a claim or something like that, where it's snapshot and then claim, I think that's kind of better. Where when they give you a heads up, they give you an announcement ahead of time. But again, like there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just whatever the project decides, and they can mix it up, right? Like one way it can be one drop, it can be claim, one drop it can be airdrop, one drop can be like a redemption, like a live status redemption, in terms of there's not necessarily a snapshot, but whenever you do interact with it, like that's when it's used. So
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. All right, I want to show you a picture, and I want you to tell me if you know who these people are. Okay, well, listen, it's safe for work. It's okay. The kids, if the kids are at home, you can watch it. It's fine. There you go. Who are these two people?
All right. Well, on the left, you have Gordon Goner, and then on the right, in the glasses, you have People.
Okay, I mean flip those, but yeah.
No,
I know you got them wrong on purpose for the memes, but yeah, we got people hanging out with Gordon, so you've got like basically two very influential people in the space, hanging out. Gordon sent this tweet out on June 5th, like basically late at night, like 2 a.m. Like you can see the timestamp, it was 2 a.m. my time. And he said, yeah, this guy with gray hair showed up to dinner and started making goblin sounds. What does it mean? And people took this, and I think people took it way too seriously. And I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on it, because we had this tweet that got, it's been shared around, and people, I've seen others have this similar, attitude towards this tweet. Do you think that tweet from Gordon specifies, or it could be market manipulation, or do you think people are really trying to reach and try to see something that's not there?
I mean, you mean market manipulation, right?
Yeah, market manipulation. Because people are saying like Gordon shouldn't have done that. How dare he tweet about the goblins and pump them up, and just basically he's manipulating the markets, and people are overreacting. I view it as people are overreacting, but I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
I think obviously he has to know that it will make some type of market move. He doesn't know whether it's up or down. Most likely up, sure. But at the same time, he's already made a statement before this, like Yuga has nothing to do with goblins. And People has already made a statement before this saying like he's not behind goblins, right? So taking that into account, I think it is an overreaction. And because they've both already made those statements before, like I think this is something that's probably safe for them.
Yeah.
For him to say, and it's not even making like a direct. He didn't even name it like Goblin Town WTF. He didn't link the OpenSea collection. It literally just used the word goblin.
Yeah, and it's like the most popular meme in NFTs right now. There's even articles like outside NFTs being written about it. It's like it's the thing that everyone's talking about. So yeah. I just kind of view it as like, oh, he's just making a joke off of what's happening right now, right?
Yeah, we should put the pitchforks away. Like it's not that big of a deal. I mean, unless maybe this guy just sold goblins and he's mad because he's like, hey, why didn't you pump them when I still had them? You never know the people that are tweeting about it like that, what their situation is. But yeah, I think overall, screaming market manipulation and this guy has to go to jail and all that, pay fines. Like I think that's a huge overreaction.
I mean, hey, maybe SEC's going to show up on the store and be like, hey, man, you know what you did. You tweeted about the goblins, so we got to take you in. You can't do that.
It's not an Elon Musk situation here.
No. I mean, yeah, you look at the way Elon Musk was tweeting about Doge like last year or earlier this year. It's not even close, I feel like, to that.
No.
I think he's just trying to make a joke off of off the current NFT meme. I think people kind of overreact a little bit, and they even came out and were like, obviously we're not. I mean, they kept saying like we're not involved in goblins at all. Like they kept saying that. People already knew that too, but people, even after this came out, I still see people are saying like, this just proves, even though they said they're not, that's what they would say if they were involved. It's like, okay, people need to chill, man. People are going crazy out there. It's Degen season's getting to everyone's heads right now.
It is. I mean, just take a look at him, totally see what it's done to him lately.
I mean,
if you were there in the Discord this morning, you would see that Mtoli was down so bad over the last week or two. Is that he actually downloaded and reinstalled Fortnite and started playing Fortnite this morning.
Ooh.
So
don't talk. It says don't talk about it. I'm gonna listen to him to his wishes. We're gonna ignore that. T's and P's for him totally. I'll just say that right now. All right. So while we're on, we talked about Gordon. He's obviously one of the founders of Bored Ape Yacht Club. Let's jump into some Bored Ape Yacht Club news. So we had some. This will be fun for us. We had some more news from Ape Fest come out, and this has been kind of the drama over the weekend. And they released a new website. And I guess I can go to the website. I didn't have it pulled up here, but I mean, they got the new website pulled up. It looks kind of nice. They obviously were, they did it pretty well. Yeah, they hit up Hunar. But the one thing that people are upset about is the way they're doing tickets. So obviously, with Pier 17, they have a 3,400 person capacity. So everybody that wants to go to Ape Fest with the +1, there's too many people. Like it's impossible to fit everybody that wants to go in there at the same time. The demand's just far outweighs that from all the polls and everything that they've done to find out the interest. So they have the system now where they're going to open up ticketing. They're going to open up the ticket claiming through token proof on Wednesday, but it's not really a claim. It's basically you have a certain time frame to go in and you have to rank your nights. So there's 4 nights and you have to rank them and the ones that you want to go to. So you say, hey, I want to go to the 20th is my number 1, 21st is my last, 23rd is my middle. You rank them however you want, basically, and based off of those rankings, whenever the registration ends, that's how they're going to distribute the tickets. So ideally, in the wording they used, is their goal is to make sure everybody gets to go to at least one night, and that's the key. That's the key phrasing and wording that everybody has taken and just been blasting them on, is that whole at least one night phrase. So what are your thoughts on that? And hey, are we fudding the apes? Are we fudding Yuga for just, hey, you own this valuable asset that gives you this access to all this utility? It's supposed to be this crazy party, this crazy week. People booked out. People asked off work. They booked trips for a full week, paid flights and hotels, and they may only get to go to one night, a 5-hour thing for Ape Fest. And I want to hear your thoughts on it.
I mean, right now you're speaking facts. You brought a lot against Yuga Labs, and I think it's warranted. I think it's somewhat fair. They were there last year. They knew what mistakes were made, what they would like to do better. I think they've taken some steps forward, but at the same time, you've had an entire year kind of plan this out. And if you assume that you didn't grow at all, the venue and in the way that they're going about things this year is already like below standards, right? Like the venue is dope, but
I don't know if it's below standards, because last year they had 1,000 person capacity, and this year it's more than 3 times that. So it's more than the night. So I mean, I don't think it's below standard.
Not enough.
Based
on the demand from like the year that they could, if you extrapolate that and just say, okay, like, or even if you don't, if you say like the demand to come to this event just stays the same, stays stagnant. Like, I don't even think, increasing it by 3 or 4 times would have been enough. And I don't know how they thought that it would be.
Yeah. And I guess this is another thing where it's like we talked about this before, and I don't know why they feel like they need to be tied down to NFT NYC. Like, you can do your own thing. You like, get out of New York. Like, I think venues are so limited in New York unless you're like an MSG, right? Or you're like some huge venue that's gonna be insane to rent out probably. But you can go somewhere else where that's more wide open or bigger, larger venues. And make Ape Fest like an actual festival, right? Like an actual thing. Is that something you think that they should do down the road? Is look into like, hey, make Ape Fest just this huge 10 to 20,000 person event venue, or it's like an actual festival? Or do you think that keeping it's smaller, more tight-knit, kind of plays into what Bored Apes are, kind of like this tight-knit community? You kind of want to keep that small town feeling instead of making this huge festival where there's just like you're bumping shoulders with everybody and there's 10,000 people there, you don't know who is who. Because I kind of see both ways, and I'm kind of torn.
We do have a poll up for about 20 seconds now. Just left in 20 seconds for, are you going to NFT NYC? In terms of what I think that they could do if they separate from NFT NYC, or if I think they should. I mean, let's keep NFT NYC. Like, they should show up. They should be there. Maybe they have like pop-up shops, like some type of IRL activation at NFT NYC. But I do think like they're definitely big enough. The demand is there, the money is there, the volume is there to do their own thing. right? Like in sometime during the calendar year. I mean, they could, I don't know, like they could probably buy the whole state of Montana or something like that, right? Like who lives in Montana? I've never met anybody from there. I don't know if people actually live there, but they probably have enough money to buy the state of Montana and just make it a year-round thing too. So that's an option. Or again, yeah, just like Hunter said, just pick a tourist destination city, a hype city, you know, LA, Miami, somewhere like that, Denver, Austin, and just throw a huge event like a South by Southwest.
Yeah, and I think you could probably have it both ways a little bit too, right? Like take it out of New York City, go into a place where it's easier to get a bigger venue, but you can still have those small events too. Like keep like the nights, like the huge concerts, like maybe it's some field or some stadium or whatever where everybody can go to. But then you have, you know, more exclusive events throughout the week, throughout Ape Fest, where it's like, hey, this party or this thing is for OG holders only, or this one and no plus ones, or this one's for, you know, OGs and mutants plus ones, or you know, you can break it down however you want. But I think that I think they can get more creative, and I hope that's the direction that they're looking to. But I think the main thing that we can all agree on is they need to get out of New York City and stop being tied to NFT NYC.
Yeah, I mean, Toasty has a good point. Like Gary Vee in that project, they rented out a whole stadium, right, for days. And that would definitely have the capacity, especially over many days, for apes to get in almost as many days as they would like. So, I think that they could do it better. Obviously, I don't want to be the project or the event manager for that. But in terms of what's possible, like you definitely know it's possible to do it. Mm-hmm. So I just wish that they would.
Yeah, absolutely. Outside of the whole one ticket thing, I mean, listen, you and I both know there's ways to get around that, right?
And there's ways to get around that.
I see that smirk on your face over there. I mean, I don't want to. You know, one thing about me and my wife is we never do the trade-ins for phones. We always just keep our old phones, keep them in the little thing. So I'm ready to go for all 4 nights. I got my other phone over there. Where I mean, I split up my apes, and hey, and honestly, I feel no guilt about doing that because you and I, you know, maybe call it entitlement or whatever. We're OG mentors.
Guy.
But hey, feel free to fund me. Y'all can fund me from outside the gates of Pier 17. That's fine.
But you know, we're definitely ready for NFT NYC. We're good over here. You know, we got all the apes loaded up on the phones, and I don't think tickets will be a problem, like you said. I mean, there's ways around it if you're creative enough. And we're not gonna encourage you guys to do, you know, whatever we may be doing. We're not gonna tell you what we're doing. But we are ready for NFT NYC, and so we'll see you guys there.
I don't think we're the only ones doing that. But I mean, and what are your thoughts on the whole? I feel like with the new way they did it, there's basically everyone has these packs now where it's like, hey, these apes are getting together, or it's hey, like make this date your number one, I'll make this my number one. Whatever one you get, you don't get, and I get, you'll be my +1. So I feel like the way they did this now, everybody is going to be requesting a +1 now, even people that weren't going to request one originally. Mm-hmm. And I guess my feeling is, you know, Ape Fest, I mean, it sucks for people that have some significant others that are already going there and everything, or going to New York. But if you have this much demand, at some point, like, I think the first step is just remove the +1s and just let it be the actual holders there, right?
Yeah, or make it something that's earned. You know, I brought this up the other day, I think on Stream Friday for Moonbirds. It's like maybe have a reward for being a holder for so long.
Yeah.
Right? And that's something that they could have easily done. You know, make different snapshots and tiers of, hey, if you've held over 6 months, right, you get a +1. If you've held less than a month, you don't even get to come. But,
yeah.
But I mean, there's systems that could have been put in place rather than, you know, they put it this way, and, you know, GG's to them for trying. But at the same time, like, now they open up this whole new world of gamification, and really, like, it makes things unsafe. And again, I know it's the person deciding to move the apes. Like, you decided to move your apes from a wallet to another. You said that's worth it to me, and that's on you. But at the same time, if they would have had a better system in place, people wouldn't be forced to make those type of security decisions.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about the actual event, because they had some other details come out, which I think whatever night you go to or whatever night you get in, it's gonna be, it's gonna be crazy every single night. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. The one thing that's like, it's also kind of like I'm on the fence about is they haven't announced any of the performers yet, and you can see on here there's new performers, new artists every single night. And we rank our nights in 2 days. So on Wednesday we rank our days, and we still don't know who's performing each night. So at that point, it's kind of like what if there's someone that you really want to see, but then they're like your bottom ranked and you didn't know it at the time, and that's gonna feel bad. But also on the other hand, I kind of like the surprise and like not knowing who's gonna be performing until they're announced on stage, or until that night of. I kind of feel it both ways.
I mean, for me, and I think most people are kind of upset because they don't know. People love to know things. Like they hate not being aware or educated of what's gonna happen. But for me, like, I'm chilling because I don't know. I'm not gonna know any of the artists anyways. I'm not gonna know the performers or the celebrities. I'm so out of touch with that stuff. So like, I don't care. I'm gonna be grateful either way. I'm gonna be hyped, excited. Especially if it's my girl T Swift up there on stage. Like, I have every single album cover ever.
What's your prediction of who is the biggest name that's going to perform at Ape Fest throughout the whole week? Who's the biggest name
that I could think of, like that would show up there?
Yeah, that you think is like a realistic, like, I think this person could actually be there and perform, and this is, I think, the biggest name that's going to be there.
I don't know if I get flooded for this because again, like, I can't. Even when I hear their names and I know who's involved in Bored Ape community, I just can't remember them. So I'm just gonna go with the one that I know of, but probably Eminem, right? Eminem might be a good one.
Yeah. So I guess it's easy to think of like the ones that are holding apes, like Post Malone or Justin Bieber, right?
Oh,
like
Posty would be nice.
Yeah, I could see them. I think if anyone holds an ape, then I think they're kind of in play to perform at Ape Fest, right?
Yeah, that's what you would think. That's got to be their top tier priority in terms of who they go to. Now, in terms of budget, like, I don't want them to just blow their entire budget on one or two performers, right? Like that would be irresponsible of them. But maybe one would be dope, and who knows? Like, you at least have to reach out to them, because if those guys are really like in this Web3 community, like, maybe they give them a deal, right? Like, hey, typically I charge this stadium or whoever like this amount to perform, but hey, this is for the Bored Ape community, those my dogs, I'm gonna cut you a deal. So you at least have to reach out to them.
I kind of feel like we'll also see like last year we saw Aziz Ansari and Chris Rock kind of as the MCs. I feel like we could see Jimmy Fallon just walk on stage and be like the MC, because he loves his ape and he's there in New York, right? It's probably pretty easy for him just to like, hey, I'm just gonna come by on like 8 p.m. or whatever. I think that's gonna be nice. I do like the fact that Ape Fest, whenever you get in, it's an open bar. It is completely free drinks, free food as well. Like, they're gonna have food trucks there. They're gonna have food inside. Everything's free. The only thing that's not free in Ape Fest is gonna be merch. But if you go there, you got drinks, you got food. You're taking care of it whenever you're inside the doors.
Free herpes as well.
You pay for that later down the road.
But yeah, so Toasty's putting tagline a little bit. Hey, like,
I know, I see that.
You like it because you're going to all 4 nights, right? So you're already biased.
That's
you're
pitch.
Out. You're DQ'd, disqualified. Yeah, pitch. Toasty said he's selling his ape if Kanye is there and he missed it. That's a good point. Like, hey, what if you're a big fan, super fan of somebody, and just because they didn't have it listed on the site, and you missed out on your chance to attend at Ape Fest. This isn't like a regular concert either. It's not like going to American Airlines Stadium. No, this is at Ape Fest, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be a more intimate setting for these big artists that normally can sell out a full stadium, right? Like, it's gonna be one of those experiences where it's like you don't want to miss it for sure.
Speaking of free COVID, definitely gotta schedule my booster this week. Thanks for the reminder, Pitch.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Any final thoughts on Ape Fest? I mean, we'll know more hopefully leading up soon, and we'll kind of break down once it comes out. But that's all we know for now.
I would say don't wait until the last day to like download or like buy additional phones or download the apps and stuff, like make sure you have that stuff ready to go today, because if the server's overloaded on Apple's side for that download request or on token proof side, like you don't want to be in that situation, right? So just get everything set up today, so that way when ticket registration does open up on June 8th, Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern, you'll be ready to go, because it is first come first serve. So be warned.
So sticking to the similar subject, there's a lot of Bored Ape news. We still got a couple more to go through. So the first one is over the weekend, the Bored Ape Discord, and it wasn't really the Discord itself that was hacked, but mods that were on the moderators of the Discord were hacked themselves and had links posted for people to come out and mint things. And basically people clicked on the link, sent transactions. They had mutants stolen, they had some ape stolen, they had other assets stolen as well. And this happened twice, and they've been receiving quite a bit of pushback and FUD over it. And do you think it probably is right that they should get that because of how big they are? But you're a security guy, you're a tech guy. What are your thoughts on that?
I feel bad for the mod. What's his name? Boris, right?
Yeah, Boris Wagner.
So, even though it's not necessarily his fault, could there have been something that he probably could have done better? Yeah, like we all can probably take security a little bit more seriously. But we can't really hold it on him to just say like, yeah, you should be, your account should be locked down like a fortress, right? I think it's just a matter of failure in terms of just the whole Web3 ecosystem, the way that it works right now. Like when you click on a link in the operating system between like Discord and web browser, and web browser between the wallet and your wallet between the contract, right? Like knowing exactly what you're doing, like there should be built-in ways to raise flags. But ultimately, I think this just comes down to like I don't think Discord or any like social app like that is really the way. Maybe there's some type of platform or application that people can come up with where it's like the contract owner, right, of that collection. So the wallet or the multi-sig wallet that owns the Bored Ape contract, maybe there's a way for them to post announcements like that on the blockchain instead, right? Instead of Twitter, instead of Instagram, instead of Discord, because those are always going to be susceptible to these types of attacks.
Yeah, it kind of feels like to me that Discord is like the MySpace of the NFTs right now, where it's like that's what we have, so everyone's using it, but something better is going to come along the way that's going to replace it. And I think right now it's, I think we need something better that's more secure, because Discord's not really meant to have all these conversations of these high value aspects. It's just meant for I think Discord's originally just meant for just gamers and talking with those communities, right?
Y'all kind of ruined Discord for me, to be honest. Like me and we were chilling in Discord. Like we use that for video games, right? And like, tournaments and like live streams and whatnot. And then here comes Web3 community and these NFT servers, and they just kind of ruined it. Like I hate Discord now, and I didn't used to feel that way. So
yeah, like I said, I think something else will be coming, and I think we need that now. But it kind of sucks for everyone that got quote unquote hacked over the weekend, but also like people just gotta be smarter. Yuga Labs has said several times like they're never gonna do a surprise mint. They're never gonna post a link with a surprise thing. Like don't FOMO into it. Like people just need to take that seriously. But it never failed. And the reason why we keep seeing them is because it keeps happening, and people are still gonna ignore it and say, well, like in the back of their head they're gonna have that FOMO and just think like, oh well, but maybe this one's different, right? Maybe this is what's going to help me, make a quick 6-figure flip or something, right? And they just kind of, that FOMO takes control of your mental and your brain. You just can't think straightly.
And also, like, who cares about being first, right? Or just having a super limited, and it's not worth the risk in terms of this stealth mint. Like, even though they said they're never going to have those, like, it's not even worth the risk just in the off chance that they do. Yeah. Considering the value of that asset that you're holding and that you're putting up for risk. So just not worth it. But speaking of that, you said maybe something better than Discord coming. Not going to say it is going to be better than Discord. I don't even have the timeline for when it will come out. But just a reminder that everybody on the NFA OG list, like your wallet's on the OG list, and maybe we could put this up there somewhere in terms of hosting a list of wallets that are NFA OGs. You guys will have allow list to the Circle XYZ project, and Circle XYZ project is kind of marketing themselves as a better Discord for Web3 communities. So
yeah, it's a good shout out right there.
And that's already done. Like, you don't have to do anything. That's every OG on the NFA wallet list is already listed for Circle.
If you got one of the airdrops from some of our NFA merch, this is metaverse airdrops, then you're on that list already.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, last Bored Ape news, and this isn't really Bored Ape like Yuga related, but it's one of the high profile members. But Snoop Dogg has announced that he's opening a Bored Ape NFT themed restaurant. We hinted at it earlier. This would be the second one we've seen, 'cause we've already seen Bored and Hungry that's opened up in LA. And the funny thing, the nice thing is, Bored and Hungry is going to be providing food at Ape Fest, and so is Snoop Dogg's restaurant. They're also going to have a food truck there. It's based on his ape, Dr. Bombay, and they're going to be there at Ape Fest providing food as well. So, any quick thoughts on Snoop Dogg opening up a restaurant? Is this just going to be one of those things that's like it's just a mall restaurant that no one cares about, like a I can't remember there's one. What's the one in you're down there in Dallas. What's that one in Grapevine Mills where it's like the jungle?
Oh,
I forgot the name of it. It's on. I was thinking about it earlier, and I was like, man, is it gonna be like one of these?
Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah, is it just gonna be like a Rainforest Cafe where it's like it's just placed somewhere and no one really kind of knows what it is, or they don't really care about it, or is this a big deal? What are your thoughts?
I think it's just somewhere in between. Like, people will definitely care about it. One is Bored Ape. 2, it's NFTs. 3, it's Snoop Dogg. So I think there are definitely be people that care about it. It won't just go under the radar at all. But at the same time, I don't think it's going to be the next best thing. I don't think it's going to be the next multi-million-dollar food chain or anything like that. It still will be niche, but that niche community is more than enough to sustain that and to make quite a bit of money. So looking forward to it. Hope that there's creative menu ideas. I hope that there's some extracurriculars that maybe happen in the restaurant, stuff like that. Tasty recipes. Shout out Harry Swan. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have too many thoughts on it. I'm just hey, it's something
me hungry
that's
right now. To be honest.
Hey, it's another way to use the IP. So good for him. All right, and we've got 2 more quick notes before we not this one should be quick, but this was a pretty big deal that came out this morning. The Epic Games Store is going to launch its first NFT play to earn game, and it's going to be by Gala Games. And it's the one that's called Grit. And it's already in the Epic Games Store. It's got the coming soon, and here's the trailer. They've already got the minute trailer for it. This is what it looks like. Have you looked too much into this? We talk a little bit about play to earn and some NFT gaming on this stream sometimes. Looks like it's not even playing great quality.
Nice graphics.
This is what you expect for NFT games. This just looks like an Art Blocks project. It's ready to go.
Rugged.
It's probably because the stream is making it bad, but we can go to some of the pictures, I guess. But what are your thoughts whenever you saw this? Did you look into it at all?
That looks scuff. No, but I did watch the trailer personally over here on my devices, and I thought it kind of looked like that what is it called? It's
Red Dead Redemption?
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption. That's what it immediately reminded me of. But at the same time, like that's not necessarily bad or good. It's interesting that this is the genre that Epic, I think, takes to the main stage, like for its first NFT or blockchain-based game. I thought they would go with something that's probably a little bit more catchy, but honestly, Red Dead Redemption,
that's popular. That is a very
popular
game.
And they've done well. But in terms of like an FPS or something like that. And the themes that we see do well versus this Western one, right? But
yeah, I mean, it looks like it's just gonna be like a Fortnite but Western theme, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Or like
but at the same time, this kind of like lowers the stakes for them because maybe they have something coming better down the pipeline and they don't want to come like right off the bat like this is the next best thing ever. It's just kind of like middle of the road. So I'd imagine that this is what they're doing, but to be honest, just overall, I think it's impressive. And this kind of went unannounced. We did know that Epic Games did make a statement that, hey, you know, Metaverse, this Web3 way is probably the future, and we are making investments and putting a whole lot of money into it. But they didn't say like who they were working with, what title was going to be coming out, or what that timeline was. So for us to just get the announcement, you know, just kind of seemingly out of nowhere is pretty surprising to me, but I'm down for it.
Yeah, and it is interesting. Like on the store, it doesn't mention anything about like I'm just like scanning through it real quick. I don't see any mentions about play to earn, NFTs, blockchain. It's almost like it's being watered down to people like kind of like it's like very gently like this is just a new game and gonna try to lure the people into that way. Like at least play it first before you discount it, because I don't see any mention here that it's play to earn or it's on the blockchain or anything like that.
Yeah, and you know, I think that they've learned from a couple of the publishers who have tried to come out with like some NFT type offerings for their main titles, right? We've seen Ubisoft and I forgot which title they tried bringing NFTs for, but there was a huge amount of pushback for Ubisoft already, and they actually ended up canceling that NFT essentially. Like they had a battle pass system based around that, and they ended up scrapping it all. They said, you know what, you're right. Like NFTs aren't ready. We're sorry. Yeah. and they canned it. And I think Activision, somehow they had the same thing. Activision Blizzard, I can't remember what, but they wanted to bring NFTs to their games, or they just mentioned it. Yep. And again, a lot of pushback from gamers, and it's surprising to me. And I know we've had the discussion on stream, but it's so still the exact same perspective. Like gamers are just like not ready for Web3. And
they're not. I think it's just because it's from the top. Like it's these huge developers. They're not, you know, bringing blockchain NFTs to their games. It cuts away some of their profits. So they spend a lot of time, a lot of marketing, talking bad about NFTs, and a lot of the gamers kind of eat that up, and then so they have a negative feeling about it already.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of education and then timing, right? Like. When iPods came out, we weren't ready for iPods. When when iPads came out, we were like, why would you need a tablet when you already have a laptop? And it's just timing on these things, and we know it's going to go there eventually. It's absolutely inevitable. But you know, I think Epic. Again, I'm impressed by what they're doing and the way they've rolled it out. Like you said, it's kind of watered down, so it's not too scary. The only word that they've mentioned in there is Web3, and then it's produced by Gala Games, which it doesn't say like blockchain games, doesn't say NFT games. Like you would also have to go look up like what Gala Games does in order to understand that they're a blockchain game developer.
I'm looking forward to trying it out at least. I don't know how much I'm gonna play it, but I'm at least gonna give it a try. I'm pretty sure probably everyone in our Discord's probably, we go through game phases every now and then where everyone plays Call of Duty, everyone plays, Splitgate or whatever. I'm pretty sure like when this is released, we're all probably gonna have at least a week or two where we all give it a shot.
I'm ready, brother. Got my cowboy hat ready. Hey,
let's go. Get the boots on.
Got my chaps. Got my boots.
Speaking of boots, caps. Let's just jump into some merch review. How about that?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we both received our Bored Ape merch, and
sure.
I think you got yours on Friday or a little bit earlier than me. I got mine today, and I've already opened our boxes. I think we both had a chance to try on or open at least one item from each like category. So like sweatpants, a shirt, a hoodie, and the hat. We're both rocking the new the Bored Ape hat. If you look closely, you can see the ape. You can't see it there. Let's go. Hold on one sec. We gotta show it.
Oh, shoot me.
Yeah, you're the one that popped up.
We got a stealth Bored Ape.
There it is. Yeah, I see it there.
Get it in that light. But yeah, we got the stealth dad hat, and then on the back here, what do we have? We have Bored Ape Yacht Club 10,000 minted. It is not the snapback. It is the strap back. Stay strapped. Stealth, black on black, Bored Ape dad hat, and that's been my favorite piece thus far. Kind of spoilers because I know I get it's not a top, not bottom, whatever, but out of everything, this is probably my top item. I've been rocking this for like 3-4 days already. So
well, let's go through I would agree, like the hat I think is my favorite. So let's ignore the hat. Let's talk about the sweatpants, the hoodie, and the shirt. Have you had a chance to try them all on?
So,
or not all of them, but like one from each at least.
Now, I have had an opportunity to try every single thing on, and honestly, that's why you should jump into the Discord, discord.gg/Schiller, SCHILLER. We do live try-ons in there. We pop on the webcam. Tagline and I have done live try-ons in the voice chat.
Last year, I tried on my cheetah onesie on the Discord live for everybody. So, that was a treat.
That's just an extra perk. So for those of you who are just on Twitter, just on Twitch, just on YouTube, you guys have to get on to the Discord. That is one good thing about Discord, is that you can participate and be live in those try-on reviews. So interesting thing though about the hoodies. Getting back to the merch.
Yeah, back to the merch. What are your thoughts on? Let's start from the bottom down. Let's start with the sweatpants. What's your first thoughts of the sweatpants?
Sweatpants. All right. So sweatpants we have here. These are, if you don't recognize the image, this is essentially like little baby apes climbing up and down the leg. These are the Mutant World sweatpants, and I think they're a vibe in terms of design, in terms of fit. I think they're a vibe. Oh yeah, tagline.
I'm currently wearing the bored to death print sweatpants right now.
Yeah, I think their vibe, the design, the fit looks good. I think the quality is where they suffer a little bit. I think they could be a little bit more comfy. Like when you put on sweatpants, and especially from Yuga Labs, like you want to be able to put those on and just feel like you would wear those without boxers and you would just crash on the couch, right? Like you want to go lay down on the couch, you would be comfortable, you would be able to be like knocked out.
Yeah, I feel like with these sweatpants, I feel like I have to go somewhere. It's like these aren't really like I have tons of sweatpants, and if I'm just like lounging around the house on the day, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just being lazy. These are probably not the sweatpants I'm going to grab. But if I was like maybe going to go somewhere, but like maybe like a hybrid day, like some lounging, but also like I got to go do some grocery shopping or go to the store, then these are definitely the sweatpants I'd probably wear. I'm a fan of them. They got a nice little wallet pocket. I don't know if it's just me, but the top of the sweatpants, a little bit tight fit for me. But I mean, maybe I just got that donk. We just I've been doing those squats, so who knows?
You are pulling a little tractor. And so shout out Hillbilly, but yeah. So that's
pitch. These are my dress sweatpants. Absolutely.
That's my review on the sweatpants. So I kind of give it like a B plus.
Yeah, I would give the sweatpants a B plus. I like them. I'm not disappointed. Let's start with let's move on to the shirts. The material, how they feel.
Yeah, so material. I think it's. Do you have the pictures of the merch pulled up at all? Like, do you still have those saved from when we did the?
I don't think I do.
The ranking.
I can try to find it, but I don't think I do. No.
Yo, anybody in the chat, if you guys send us a link to the picture of the entire catalog that they had came out with, that would be super dope.
I've got this one. This is the one shirt that I tried on.
Yeah, I think this is somewhat on par or a little bit of an upgrade over the last merch that they came out with, especially over their first gen merch. Their first gen merch, that quality of material, that feel of the material was so tough and hard.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just like it's that type of material that scratches against your skin. But ever since that first drop, like they've been stepping up their game. They obviously in the last drop as well, they had the private label, so Mutant versus Bored Ape, not just like Gildan or whatever.
The one thing I am missing on this shirt on the shirts though is you don't have the tag at the bottom. Yeah, like that. I don't know what it's called, but you got the tag.
The little square label.
Yeah, you don't have that square label.
Yeah, I do really appreciate when people have that. So that's a little bit of a miss for me. Do I say it's trash because of that? Absolutely not. But it is nice to have. The other thing that is kind of goes underrated or low key is that the neck is actually ribbed, and it's actually hard to see on here. But what I mean by ribbed is it has those lines in the neck part. And that just makes it feel a lot more comfortable against your neck and a lot more flexible versus it just being one solid piece and it kind of like crinkles up or rubs up against your neck.
Yeah, I personally, I'm a fan of the shirts. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was expecting people, like the way people were talking about it on Twitter and everywhere. I thought I was gonna hate it, but I like the fit. I like that it feels durable. Like, you know, I feel like I can wash it more than 3 times and it's still gonna stay fine. So, I'm okay with the shirts. I give them probably like a solid B for the shirts.
Yeah, again, I'd say somewhere in that B plus range. They're not absolute bangers or heaters. If you love the designs, you're probably saying that these are an A, and that's totally okay for me. They're definitely not S tier. I think we can agree that they're not S tier. Right. They're either somewhere between A or B, depending on your style or taste. But yeah, just trying to show you a little bit more of the. Yeah, you can't really see because it's black on black, but that crew neck is kind of ribbed there. Not the softest of materials, but definitely not the hardest. And I think after a good wash or so, these are going to be fine. One thing that you guys may not know if you didn't purchase the merch is that this is actually like a sticky feel, which is kind of cool in the design because if you look at it,
it looks sticky.
It's meant to be like gooey or sticky, right? Yeah. And so it does have that feel on there, which it does not transfer down to the skull. It's just the lettering, so that's kind of neat.
Nice. Okay, so it seems like we're like okay with the shirts. Let's move on to what I think is, in my opinion, the biggest disappointment of this whole drop: the hoodies. I don't know about you, but yeah, I don't know about you, but these hoodies, I think they are complete, like, I don't know, they're garbage, man. They're so bad. And I know one of the feedbacks that people had from previous hoodies was the material didn't feel as durable. They felt like over time it was, it was fading, it was breaking up, it was everything. I feel like they like maybe overcorrected and they just instead put cardboard with they just put cardboard over it. And I mean, these hoodies, man, they're so stiff. The materials, I mean, it fits nice, like the sizing is good, but just the material for the hoodies, for me, this is the worst. It's the worst part about the merch itself. But what are your thoughts on the hoodies?
Yeah, so I wanted to bring up a point here that probably most people wouldn't know. Again, like either you're only Bored Ape, only a Mutant, mix it both, or maybe you don't own either and you don't have the merch. But the thing is, on the Mutant hoodie, it is far different. And some of the guys were in the Discord, they got a sneak peek of this early, is that the material for this one is far different than the Bored Ape one. This one is like soft and plush, maybe a little bit less durable, but it is incredibly, the Mutant one is incredibly soft and comfy. So I could sleep in this one all day.
That's good to know. I haven't tried that one out yet.
I like the way that this is embossed here on the monkeys. They got a mix of materials, so it's the sticky part, like from the last one. They have embossed on the monkeys here, and then a screen print on the globe. But then, when I pull out, like Tagline said, when I pull out the Bored Ape one, this one legit feels like a paint canvas, bro. Like a heavy-duty paint
that's
canvas.
Actually a really good comp. It does feel like a paint canvas. Yeah, like it's so strange. Like I felt it. I'm like, this. Why does it feel like this, man? Like I don't know what they did, but they kind of dropped the ball on the hoodies. Like, I mean, it does feel like I think they were going a lot of the, like I said, a lot of the criticism they got from previous hoodies was the material wasn't going to last. Well, I think they hit this ball out of the park because this material can survive a nuclear blast. This material is not going anywhere, right? But other than that, that's the only thing it has going for it. There's no comfort. It's just legit. It feels like a paint canvas. Like it's not, yeah.
And it would be one thing if that was the outside of it, right? The exterior. But if you guys see what's on the inside, it is absolutely no better. It is not plush. It is not comfy. It is not anything. It is, the outside is sandpaper canvas, and the inside is like, I don't know, like worse than sock material. I don't know.
Yeah, It's bad, man. It is bad. Have you tried washing it with like a fabric softener and see if that helps it at all?
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning in the Discord. I was like, I'm gonna have to use some softener or something.
Yeah, I think I have to go buy a softener. I don't even have any, but I may try that out. Maybe it'll make it better, but I don't know, man. It's
so I think Bored Ape's got the short end of the stick here. That's immediately I picked up the package. I didn't even have to open it. I pick up the package that it was in, and I was like, I could use this as a brick. Like I could use this as a weapon against somebody. That's how heavy duty and like hard this thing is.
Yeah, I felt the same thing. Hats, I think the best part of it so far, and we still haven't got and this is only like a part of the merch, right? We're still waiting on, I think, some other items. We're waiting on we're still waiting on the jerseys. We're still waiting on, obviously, like the blankets and all that all those parts of it. I think some shirts that we're still waiting for too, and some shirts and hoodies.
Yeah, I think Bored Ape shirts, the blankets, and then the jerseys. I almost said blankies.
You did say blankie.
But
yo, Germany needs his blankie. You guys heard it. Looks like we got everything in this column. Like, actually, I think we got everything in like these. Like, can you see my mouse?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, it's like I think everything over here was shipped out, but we still haven't got. Well, that was two. Well, I haven't got either of these. The college print.
No, me neither.
And then also I haven't got the white logo hat.
Me neither.
But I've got these other two.
Yeah.
And obviously the jersey and the other stuff. So maybe this other merch redeems it. I don't know. We'll see.
Something I wanted to point out on the hoodies, because this is, I've talked about this before on stream, but is the cord for the hood. So the cord is braided, which is super nice. And then not only is it braided, as you can see there, they have the little cap at the end, and it is some type of like soft metal. So shout out to them for doing that.
Yeah, the Bored Ape hoodie didn't get any of that, so they definitely went all out for them mutant hoodies, which is good, I guess.
So it is not plastic, and then they also have laser engraved on there the little mutant logo. So
that's cool.
That's some high quality H2O right there, and I'm all about it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that a lot. So I'll definitely have to open up that hoodie, because I left that one unopened. I just assumed it was the same as all the other hoodies, so that is good to know. We will talk about more of the merch whenever we get the other stuff in. I'm looking forward to the other stuff. Hopefully the other hoodies that we're waiting on, hopefully they're the same quality as that mutant one, and not the Bored Ape, not the Bored to Death one or the small logo one. But we'll see. Any final thoughts about the merch? What would you give? We gave individual ratings. What would the rating you would give for all of it combined as like one drop, one package?
Well, one more thing. I will give a rating. One more thing.
Okay.
For those of you, again, this is we don't know who the viewers are right now, so we don't know if you got the boxes or not. But this is what the mutant box looks like. You can see here it's like a lime green inside, and then it has the MAYC, and then also you get stickers. And I apologize for not having the stickers ready. I just kind of threw them back in. So
yeah, I didn't have any stickers in my boxes, unfortunately.
Oh, you definitely had, like, you're supposed to, so that sucks.
Yeah, I had no stickers. I had nothing. All I had was the box and the packaging, or the actual clothes. But I think they do get, merch aside, I give them an A+ for packaging this time, like with the box, with how they're wrapped up and packaged and sent. So I would give an A+ for that, for sure.
All right, so I do have a couple of the stickers, actually, just to go through real quick. This is the script sticker. It is embossed. It's black, silver, glossy.
Okay, I'm gonna need to complain to somebody. This is an outrage.
And then here's the die cut mutant looking sticker here, MAYC. Pretty nice. And then you have one more, or that I have right now. I think there might be one more, but holographic Yuga Labs sticker. Holographic Yuga Labs.
Hunter is down bad.
Quick look at the snapbacks on the. Oh, that sucks, Hunter, for sure. Quick look on the snapback. That is MAYC embroidered, and then the contract address embroidered for the mutants, and then this is same thing for the Atom. For the Mutant World one. So not too bad there. The Mutant World does have the green bottom, which I'm not a huge fan of. And if they were to go green, I wish it was a bit more lime green. And then the contract one has the black bill. So, yeah. But overall, I think I'm still just going to give them a B+. I think it's somewhat of a miss for Yuga on this one.
Yeah, I think B. I think anything in the B is a miss for Yuga at this point.
Yeah, I don't think it's trash. The only thing that they was a huge miss on was the Bored Ape hoodie for sure. But other than that, it wasn't a miss at all. It just they can go above and beyond that, right? The tags on the shirts, right? I think the stickers could have probably been a little bit better. And then also just having the digital items to go along with it. Like, we're already a year down the road. You have a huge team. Like, somebody can be making these wearables. You can even outsource the wearables, right? Yeah. So there's no reason why we should have these merch designs here when they've had them for probably 6 to 8 months and not have them in the metaverse. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would probably give him a B overall, just initial reactions, and maybe a C+ as I didn't get any stickers. So, I'm going to be a little salty about that.
Yeah, nothing was a banger. Here's like some of an example of the individual packaging that came with it. So the box, and then they were inside this as well, which is good. The caps were not, so that's a small miss on the caps. They weren't individually wrapped. So, if somebody's trying to save those, preserve those, you have to find your own like tissue paper or wrapping for those, versus like the apparel, the shirts and stuff came in their own. So,
yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. We got some other quick notes real quick. So the first thing is, if you are here and you're a subscriber to NFA, we have a little treat for you guys. Germany was able to secure Curio Genesis Pass whitelist for 50 of our subscribers. So most of you have already signed up for it. We haven't announced it on stream yet. We did put a link in the Discord, tagged everybody with the role. So if you're not in the Shilliverse Discord yet, make sure you join. Discord. Make sure you join the Discord. We can put the link in the chat as well. Join there, verify your Twitch to get the NFA tag, and then a channel is going to pop up in the Discord where it's going to say Curio Genesis NFA. Pop your address in there. Remember, this is only the first 50 people to respond get there, so we're not to 50 yet, so there still are some open spots. If you haven't done that, make sure you get that, then Jeremy can give us a little rundown of what the Curio Genesis Pass is.
Yeah, so Curio Genesis, if you guys are in the Discord, you're already familiar, but just explaining for those outside of the Discord. So Curio is an NFT like market analytics tool. So just like some of the tools that we bring up time to time with like Flipstop Finance and whatnot, it's just a bit more detailed than that, because they're kind of doing two different things. So like Flips Finance has a free tool that's market overview, but it doesn't really drill down into the details of items or regard itself with the rarity of certain items, right? So with Curio, you can drill down into a collection. You can see the activity and analytics for that collection in terms of floor depth. So if you want to know like how many listings are there in the next 1 to 2 ETH, what's the plot chart for how many sales there's been in the last 30 days, what's the volume and price look like for that collection in a single chart or multiple charts, and then you have multiple time frames all the way from 1 hour to a year. And then in terms of single items, you can drill down to a single item, see when that has been listed and sold. You can see the floor price for each individual attribute or trait, and then you can see the score and the ranking of that item out of the collection, given that it's a PFP collection. But yeah, that's they're releasing like a Genesis Pass for Curio, and which it was extremely fast, and it does have a couple of views and chart views that aren't available anywhere else on any analytics tools. And then plus they have a Discord tool. Now the Discord tool is separate than the NFT Pass that you guys are getting the allowance for. But the Discord tool is something that I've already paid for in the Shilliverse Discord for you guys to use. And that allows you to bring the app, the web app, and instead of having go to the browser, you can actually just use that within Discord. So it severely limits you, but at the same time, it does make it more efficient in terms of if you're just, chatting with guys and girls, you want to know what the floor price is of a collection, you can do that. You want to know what's a good deal in the collection, you can do that within seconds. So that's what Curio is. I think they are trying to launch this summer or June. So just keep an eye out on that. And yeah, we have 50 spots to give. So sign up.
Yep, absolutely. Looking forward to that. Thank you, Jeremy, for securing those spots for us and for our subs. And let's get some W's in the chat, some wagmies for Jeremy for getting those for us. Definitely appreciate that. And we got one more thing, and this is not really a segment yet. It will be a segment, but Jeremy, I got a challenge for you.
Oh no, is it the ketchup challenge again?
It's the ketchup challenge.
Oh man, I threw up last time.
It is not the ketchup challenge.
All right.
So we've got a little battle that I think we need to do. We need to channel. This whole Degen season has it's got me feeling a certain way. It's got me feeling it's got me feeling nostalgic from back in the days. You remember last summer we were minting everything, flipping everything. We were dirty flippers back then, and now we're just kind of like inactive.
Yeah.
I think we need to have a little battle of the flippers.
Okay.
You versus me. We each get a wallet set up separate from our mains, and we just load it up with 1 ETH, and that's all we put in there is 1 ETH from our main wallet or from our vault, and then we use that wallet, and so something we can keep track of, and something we could talk about it on stream. Viewers can track it as well, and we just have a little friendly competition of seeing who can at the end of a certain amount of time have flip that 1 ETH into a larger thing, or
right.
Whoever can save the most. Maybe not touching the 1 ETH, you're gonna win, because whoever spends something may lose money. But I don't know the time frame. I think maybe it'd be fun to do it for the rest of the summer or something, and we just kind of do updates for it weekly, maybe up until through September or something, or through August. But give me your thoughts. What do you think?
I'm down. I think we just need to figure out the details. Like what if at the end of in 90 days, like technically I have 0.05 ETH, but the profit that I made since then, like the total amount of profit over that time, could be a lot, right? So like, is it going to be a total profit? Is it going to be like our ending ETH balance? Is it going to be portfolio balance from a certain website? So
I see, because like you may have 1.5 ETH in yours, and I may have like 3 ETH in mine, but you would have more value of NFTs or something, right? If you haven't sold them. I think we have to do some kind of deadline where we have to cause I think the goal is for it is to like flip things and sell. So,
so balance.
I think balance needs to be the ending thing. And since we'll have like an ending date or an ending thing, we'll have, time to sell. By then.
Yeah, but either way I'm down. Just figuring out the details, and then maybe I don't know. Maybe we do a shorter term one, and maybe it's just me and you, and then the next time, like, it can be whoever wants to get involved.
Yeah.
Just so that way we can figure out the quirks of it without having 10-15 people on board and dealing with that mess.
Yeah. Well, I will sit down and come up with the quote unquote rules or whatever, the outlines, and we'll go through it more on Wednesday of what we're going to be doing, share it with the viewers, and then let's just go and start it after Wednesday's stream. Let's get the ball rolling. And that's the guns are going.
Yeah. So you said 1 ETH.
Yep. Yeah. 1 ETH. You gotta. Oh no, he's gotta. You gotta. Maybe you should take out a loan against your ape or something. Pull a little Franklin.
Hey yo, stream, can I borrow 1 ETH? No, yeah, we're good. Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool. All right, well, we'll update you guys more of that on Wednesday. But any final notes, messages, shout outs, anything you got for us?
Man, there was a couple pre-mint stuff that I signed up for, but at the same time, like, I don't know if it's tied. I can't remember if it's necessarily tied to you have to own a pre-mint collector pass to register, but I think it was called NFT Sensei. That's another tool or platform that's coming out. NFT Sensei is kind of like the mint bot and sniping bot and all this stuff put together. Like, the way that they're marketing it is that it's the bot of all bots. So that's NFT Sensei, SENSEI. I wish I had I do have a link for you guys. 1 second. That's something to keep on your radar. Let's see what else. Maybe Arenamon. I don't know too much about it. I'm just looking into it now. It's another like little play to earn game, tournament based, like between communities. MFP, My Freaking Pickle, they're having a huge airdrop for owners, and they're trying to rebrand. They're trying to like relaunch without Cole. For those of you who know the whole story with Cole Ethereum and how he launched My Effing Pickle, the whole team is still there. They've supposedly been building, and they said they're going to shock us with what they release. So I don't know.
You know, once we start talking about My Effing Pickle on stream, I know it's time to log off and sign off for the day. That's that's it. I'm gonna cut you off there.
I'm just saying.
This man's out of pocket.
I don't know. Some people make good money off of My Effing Pickle last time.
That's true. That's true. That is true.
There's the exclusible penthouse and then the go to mint pass. Other than that, there's just the parallel pack drop 4 happening this Saturday. It's gonna be significantly less, like a tenth of the packs dropped last time for PD3. They're only dropping like 10,000 packs this time on Saturday for 0.18 ETH instead of like 60,000 packs from last time. So it shouldn't be as diluted. And then there's a lot more mixture of rarities that you're going to get within those packs.
Yeah. Sounds good. All right. Well, if that's all you got, that's all I have. And we'll be back here Wednesday. Wednesday may be, I'll talk with you about this off stream, but it may be a little bit different time than normal. Maybe a little bit later or earlier, depending on. I've got some things going on at the barn. I got to go hold the horses to get their hooves trimmed. Close to stream time, so we can talk about that later. We'll tweet out the time that we're actually going to go live, so people can prepare for that. But yeah, we'll be back here on Wednesday. Until then, everybody enjoy your Monday. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Have a great start to the week, and be your own alpha.
Be your own alpha. Thank you for showing up, showing out. Much love.
Peace.
Peace.